Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between this time Th000 versus Moon, taking place here on Turtle Rock. Over here on the bottom, well, what I'll call right hand side of the map, we have Th000 spawning as the red human. Meanwhile, Moon, also known as the fifth race, for his imaginative playstyle, using Night Elf in ways that no one could ever imagine, doing a great job, and spawning over here at what I'll call the 11 o'clock position on the top left-hand side of the map of Turtle Rock. Now it feels like it's been forever and a day since I've actually cast a game on Turtle Rock, and I'm really wondering how things are gonna actually work out on a map like this, and a map like Northern Isles where there is, oh, thank you Unholy Knight for the sub. On a map like this and a map like Northern Isle where there isn't that mercenary camp for you to get a Forest Troll Shadow Priest early on, the Keeper of the Grove is an absolute nightmare. Entangle, being able to essentially shut down units. The fact that the footman, when it is entangled, can't move, is taking damage, and then also can't attack, well, adds insult to injury almost, as there's not much you can really do to try and save that particular unit. Even with great micro and constant denial of experience, you are still losing that said unit, and it does take its toll. Now, what is going to be happening here? It is going to be an Archmage going up against a Keeper of the Grove. I'm sorry if you don't like to see this particular matchup with those particular heroes. But then again, if I said you threw in an undead in this matchup, it would be 97% of the time a Death Knight. Archmage going to make its way over, calling over a bunch of militia. Archmage aggroing those creeps, going to throw another fireball, drops the water elemental, and that water elemental now under the constant pressure of those forest trolls in the back. Now this is a 3-3-2-2 creep camp, which means that the Archmage will not get to level 2 just quite yet. He'll have to finish off this 4-1-1 creep camp in order to, well, get enough information to get to the next level. Meanwhile, Forces of Nature finishing off this remainder of the Forest Troll Ogre Warrior Creep Camp. Keeper of the Grove just sitting outside of level 2, just getting there, as the Archmage wants to get to level 2 and does in fact get it after finishing that giant sea turtle. Archmage picks up a Mantle of Intelligence, has a Circlet of Nobility, and that's pretty much the best items that Th000 could really hope for. Being able to get 2 intelligence-based items, getting +5 intelligence at this point in the game, getting a little bit more damage, but more importantly also getting more maximum mana and better mana regeneration for more potential units. Archmage is going to look to back up. Footman scouting out an archer in the middle of the field, but not much else is going to be going on here. Keeper of the Grove could come in from behind, lift up his hand, entangle down a unit, and that footman will just cry of very, very cold death as those arrows slowly pelt him down in the back. Down it goes. All right, let's take a look at this. Footman taking more and more damage. Again, what's happening here is the footman going to be able to get away, and it looks like it will be able to do exactly that. We are upgrading the tier 2. We are getting a lumber mill coming in from Th000. Meanwhile, back off to the north, we are upgrading the tier 2. No expansions as of yet, so this is a very different game than the one we saw originally. Oh, we did see, oh, this could be big news. Moon, did he realize? Yes, he did realize, in fact, that a wisp was taken out in transit. Sometimes if a player not as, well, as focused as Moon is, you may end up losing a single unit in your gold mine and not realize it for, say, 2 or 3 minutes, which does turn into a significant amount of gold. Each wisp provides 20% of the overall gold, so what, 1,200, 240 gold could be lost if you do not catch that mistake. Hello, mate. Yes, this is the second game. Thank you for tuning in as we're looking back down to the south. Keep has been done upgrading. Meanwhile, Archmage is making its way out off to the north. We are going into a Goblin Alchemist, everyone's favorite second hero that seems to always be hired up from the tavern. There you have it. Alchemist also out on the other end of the field as the Alchemist uses, well, Acid Bomb to finish off the remainder of this creep camp. All right, Alchemist going up against an additional Keeper of the Grove and another Alchemist. This could be a very bad day. Where is he going to go? Down to 102 hit points. Could get taken down. There he is. There he goes. But the experience was given or taken by the creeps. Moon does not have any experience on this Alchemist as the level 1 Alchemist falls. Essentially paying 170 gold for a fully healed Alchemist, which is a very, very good value, I might add, even though he is currently out of the fight. Meanwhile, back over here on the other end, Keeper of the Grove looking to finish off the Ogre Warrior creep camp. That will get finished off here. Keeper of the Grove gets to level 3. Level 2 Force of Nature most likely in the works as an additional tree, well, does do a lot more damage. 33 supply compared to 32. We're looking at Th000 getting the right combination of Priest and Rifleman with that Alchemist so far. Meanwhile, at the other side, Moon nearing level 2 already and maybe trying to go for a very early expansion. Gargantuan Sea Turtle sitting at 1 armor, only 6% damage reduction. That is incredibly important as you can take a look at this Gargantuan Sea Turtle already down to sub 300 and it looks like it will just get taken out. Meanwhile, Archmage and Alchemist shows up to the party. Will it actually be able to do any significant damage? Water Elemental trying to finish off some units. Rifleman gets entangled, trying to regroup up with the rest of the army, and it could just end up falling. Priest is trying its best to heal up that unit, but it does get taken out still. All right, Ancient of War gonna regenerate some more hit points. 38 supply compared to 33 as Moon figures out its next option. Meanwhile, Th000 continuing to creep out, gonna clear out this 3322 creep camp. It looks like the Archmage, nope, just picks up another Mantle of Intelligence, and that is it. Hey, Tuna Fish, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. As the Riflemen now roll on out. Overall supply count, 40 over 50 with about 300 gold in the bank compared to 38 over 42 with about 270 in the bank. Level 1 weapons upgrades coming in. And is it just going to stay at tier 2 once more? Alchemist Archmage is a very strong 1-2 punch now, as that Alchemist is a great frontline hero if you can give it a handful of Ring of Protections. Once you give it some armor, all of a sudden, that high hit point base that naturally sits on the Alchemist just seems that much stronger as it has, well, more hit points to effectively work with and increase its the overall effectiveness. Gargantuan Sea Turtle, down it goes. Level 2 now on the Alchemist. Also picking up a Talisman of Evasion, getting 15% evasion, or essentially an 18%. I believe it's it's about 18% damage reduction there. Acid Bomb now looking to finish off a Gargantuan Sea Turtle. Water Elemental about to get felled here. Archmage gets up to level 3. Meanwhile, back off to the north, pretty much same thing is happening on both sides of the map, creeping out the corners in order to perhaps try and make a play by setting up an expansion and going into the economic game. There are still 3 major creep camps on the map, in addition to these center creep camps. Some of the center creep camps, however, have already been touched slightly, as the Dryads sitting at 0-0 going up against Riflemen who are sitting at 1-0 upgrades. Dryads, where are they going to go next? Alchemist now looking to pull back. Wand of Mana Stealing on the Keeper of the Grove could try and deny some big mana, perhaps from some of these units. If it can actually steal some mana, that would be a very big deal. Alchemist down to 300 some odd hit points, taking a lot more damage. Acid Bomb, Rifleman actually getting in the way. That could become a problem. There's the Entangle. Scroll of Town Portal isn't going to be used. Healing Spray keeps him alive a little while longer, and he lives to fight another day. Continuing that fight now, More healing spray, keeping that unit alive, sitting at 475 hit points. Finishes off another gargantuan sea turtle as the militia show up to the party, only to realize, hey, wait, I'm passing through the enemy party in order to get to you. I am doing well. Thank you for tuning in. We are looking now at Moon setting up an expansion here at what I'll call the 1 o'clock expansion, head or tails location. Meanwhile, Alchemist ready to chase after some more units here as the Keeper of the Grove sits at level 4. Force of Nature's trees are going to be here ready to go, but this Hunter's Hall in a very forward and awkward position may get taken down. Archers show up to the party. Are they going to be able to do anything? Acid Bomb spreading across while allowing for focus fire onto that negative armor units and healing spray, but it's not going to be enough. All right, entangled onto the Alchemist. Alchemist looking to fight their way through. There goes another rifleman there. Keeper of the Grove sits at level 4. Alchemist sits at level 3, going up against a 3-3 or a 4-3 Archmage and Alchemist. Alchemist, well, did it look like it was going to run out of mana? No, it is currently fine as well. Keeper of the Grove trying to chase after that low hit point rifleman, but going to end up absorbing far too much damage to just try and approach its target. Healing spray back up to 84 hit points. Water Elemental trying its best to, well, stick around and stay alive while chasing that Alchemist, as the Hunter's Hall could still get taken down. Moon, 43 supply over 60 compared to Thos 48 over 66. Economic expansion for both sides. You can take a look at Thos expansion here in the center 3 o'clock location, going up against Moon's Blue Night Elf over here on the top right hand side of the map in the heads or tails position. Rifleman now looking to, well, knock down these Moonwells. I don't see any mortar teams. This is just a priest and rifleman composition, and it could get taken out extremely quickly. There goes one building. More buildings could get taken down. Dryad could have been taken down as well, but it, well, lost its target here for just a little while. Tree of Ages at 50 over 50 supply. Both sides sitting at no upkeep right now, trying to maximize everything, as the peasants are going to end up getting taken down. All right, Moon finishing off this expansion here could cause some serious troubles, as you can take a look, multiple peasants getting finished off here once again. Dryads continuing to poke apart once more. Should be Scroll of Town portaling back. Wisp need to be brought back over. What is Moon really thinking? Has to be very careful, as the units are now, well, where are they going? Just trying to fight back again. Moonwell down to 127 hit points. Where are all of those units going next? Riflemen here, as they are going to finish off 140 mana Moonwell, which could have been more hit points for the majority of the army if the Alchemist with Healing Spray or the Keeper of the Grove with Tranquility got that mana. Continuing the fight once more. Rifleman now looking to pull back here. Multiple riflemen heading back once again. Let's take a look at it. Down it goes. The Force of Natures could get taken down. Will you check the WarCraft 3 Reforged? Of course I will, if I can get the replays. Keeper of the Grove going to be teleporting back home. And there it goes. Showing up to the party only to see one rifleman quickly, or one Dryad quickly getting taken down. All right, Healing Spray trying to heal up more units again. That rifleman down to 143 has to be extremely careful, as we could see, nope, there goes another rifleman there. Potion of Invulnerability is still on that Alchemist, down to 270 hit points now, as the Archmage tries to lead the charge. Archmage still pressing on forward, 49 supply compared to 47, as the Priest here work overtime to try and keep this army alive. Double Dispel magic all the way across all of those Force of Natures. Alchemist still at 4, Archmage still at 4. Going up against a 4-4 Keeper of the Grove and Alchemist. Dryad's going to be dancing back down. The problem, though, is still Moon has the economic advantage, so he can afford to go into the larger army while still maintaining a comfortable economic advantage. 14 gold a second compared to 10, even though he is getting taxed. That means in the fights, he should be in a lot more comfortable of a position, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist are ready to move on out. 55 supply over 80 compared to 53. Moon seems to be in low upkeep hell, but doesn't seem to mind. He is not upping his production units while he sits on nearly 700 gold. Archmage and Alchemist here ready to knock on the door again. Moonwell could end up getting taken down, and Moonwell cannot afford to lose these Moon cannot afford to lose these Moonwells without making his opponent pay, at least in some sort of loss, unit loss, experience loss, pressure somewhere else. You cannot be everywhere at the same time in Warcraft 3. Your attention has to be focused somewhere, and by it, well, not being focused on defending, it still has to do something in order to try to maintain some sort of advantage here, as the Riflemen quickly finish off a Dryad. Dryad now finished off there. 50 supply compared to 47. Moon now needs to pull back. Priest are all here ready to go. You're going to take a look at this. This one low hit point Rifleman will end up surviving another day after getting down to what I believe to be sub 25 hit points. All right, Dryad down to 51 hit points. It looked like it could have been taken out. Two more shots from the Rifleman would have been enough to finish it off pretty cleanly, as the Archmage looks to finish off this Tree of Ages. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, Dryads pushing their way through. Arcane Tower unable to do very much. Riflemen trying to shoot, do a little bit of target practice, hitting a tree. Sorceresses are there as well. You got to be careful though, Moon. Moon does not have a Scroll of Town Portal right now. That means that he's going to get stuck there. But at the same time, nope, Alchemist does have a Scroll of Town Portal. Let's see, Wisp does get taken out. Water Elemental could get taken out. If all the units teleport right here, Alchemist will be forced to teleport back out, and that's exactly what you see there. One Dryad finished off. Level 5 on the Archmage, level 5 on the Alchemist, going up against a level 4, and I believe another level 4. I just need to find it. There it is right there. Mass Rifleman, 2-1 upgrades on the roll, ready to go. Yeah, the Dryads versus Riflemen, and still the Riflemen seem to be edging out a victory, even though it's not a complete slam dunk yet. Dryads now need to make their way back down to the south. Are they going to be able to position themselves properly, or is the army of Th000 just going to be far too large and perhaps try to get some sort of pincer play as the army now shifts its way back to the south?
Under siege.
Yeah. What is the chance that Th000 loses a mass Rifleman army to Dryads? He would actually need to make several serious mistakes in a row. I guess trying to engage an open field where the Rifleman could get surrounded, that would be a definite bad spot to be in. Meanwhile, let's take a look back down over here. Keeper of the Grove will get to level 5. Alchemist will perhaps get to level 5 if the Keeper of the Grove decides to back off in time. There it goes. Keeper of the Grove now at 5. Alchemist sitting at level 4. Does have Crystal Ball. Let's take a look. Are the remaining units going to end up getting finished off? Alchemist with Inner Fire here, ready to go. Rifleman switching back the other way. 2-1 upgrades. All the units are now traveling back off to the north. We may see an Acid Bomb here. Nope, no Acid Bomb as of yet. A little bit surprised by that. 467 supply, and, well, trying to go back up. All right. Forest Troll Warlord will get finished off here this time around. No big issues. Alchemist may get to level 5, level 2 or level 3 Healing Spray or level 3 Acid Bomb. Both are viable options. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove stole some critical experience from the Alchemist, preventing the Alchemist from being able to level up. All right, Dryads need to get into position in order to be able to heal back up. Meanwhile, the Sorceresses, Riflemen, and Mortar teams making it very difficult to launch any sort of escape. So far, at this time, I don't know if Moon actually knows about this expansion over here to the top right. If he does, which he is looking at right now, he will, or excuse me, not Moon, Th000, once he does and he knows about it, he may try and finally put pressure on this location. Archmage still wandering around here. Meanwhile, this massive Dryad army dealing so much damage. Acid Bomb slowing everything as well. Priest having a slow run back. Healing Spray healing up multiple units, and this actually may work out well. The Alchemist with level 3 Healing Spray, I believe, able to heal up this Rifleman army, even though there was a major amount of damage being dealt to it.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alchemist now wandering back around. This is not looking good at all for Moon. Moon needs to figure out his long-term strategy and figure it out quickly. He's sitting at 46 over 60 supply compared to his opponent's 68 over 72. This could potentially be a problem, as there is still one mine and, well, no, this is no longer mined here. Tree of Life is going to be rebuilt. Meanwhile, back into the center, Dryads are still dancing around again. Alchemist makes its way back down. Going to be able to perhaps try to get a pincer play onto all of these Dryads. Dryads will be forced to go around all of this here as the Alchemist is finally in on the party. Riflemen could easily end up getting shot here as they try to push their way through. Let's take a look. Rifleman number 1 finishes off a Dryad. Are the rest of the Dryads going to be able to teleport back home? I do believe so. No units being left behind as they're all back home again. Archmage regroups up with the rest of the human army, trying to finish off a handful of units. Gets spread out damage across multiple Dryads, which in the end should not really matter, as they are easily healed back up. Back at the other end, Rifleman, Water Elemental, Priest, Archmage here ready to go. Are they going to perhaps spot this Alchemist? Alchemist taking a lot of damage once more. There it goes. Where is it going to try and run off to? No easy stun and no easy place to run off to. What is happening here as the Alchemist just is still wandering back around?
The town is under siege. A player's forces are under attack.
Tree of Life is taking a beating. Meanwhile, Ancient of Lore also joining in on the shenanigans, trying to take down some of these units as well. Riflemen in that front line spot, gonna try and go ahead and pull on back. Meanwhile, Archmage is here ready to go. Priest are here ready to go. Dryad's gonna go ahead and start poking apart all of these units, and that may be it. Thank you for the cheer. Yeah, I'm running a little bit low on gas right now, so definitely thank you for the cheer. I'll try to turn it up a notch. All right. So what are Th0's options at this point? Th0 has an expansion here in the center portion of the map. He pretty much just established it. Doesn't have that much going on here. Meanwhile, at the other side, he's trying to get control and zone out his opponent. You can see that the Dryads here of Moon are going to be able to clear out this level 6 creep camp, and it may come down to the items that you get. We are going to also have a level 5 Alchemist here, so 5/5 coming in from Moon. Meanwhile, Th0 is sitting at Th0 is also sitting at level 5 here. She should be able to do a little bit more something, as you see some, well, quick teardowns here. There goes another. Is that one? Yep, there goes another as well. 51 supply compared to 66. After all that, 66 supply still belongs to the Th0 at this point, as Th0 now rolls on back off to the north. All right, Alchemists, Dryads heading back home. Alchemist getting lost in the woods and meets a very scary Red Riding Hood army of sorceress, riflemen, and priest. Archmage still sitting at 530. Where are they going to go next? Alchemist just staying alive, trying to keep track of where his opponent is, and the economic advantage still cannot be ignored. Let's take a look back off to the north. Moon is sitting at 51 over 60 supply. This is actually economic disadvantage. It's almost better to just go down one supply in order to increase your overall gold significantly, as opposed to 14 gold a second, as you can get up to 20 gold a second if you have 2 bases. But that, I am getting ahead of myself, as the riflemen and the priests are now making their way back out. Riflemen, priests looking to go ahead and rejoin up with that front army here. Alchemists getting forced to teleport back home. It is not this Tree of Life. This Tree of Life will end up getting canceled, as you can see. And once that Wisp realizes his fate, well, he should be able to move on. Scout towers being constructed, fortified armor, disenchant to try and finish off the remaining units here. We should be looking at some repairs on these guard towers as well. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Keeper of the Grove finds an easy mortar team getting caught in transit again. 2-1 upgrades going up against 2-1 upgrades. Alright, Riflemen, Sorceress now making their way back off to the north. Keeper of the Grove trying to make their way back off to the north as well. Double Moonwells, 46 over 80 supply compared to 72 over 84. And it still feels like Tho is not sure enough that he can actually end this game. When you have such a large discrepancy, a 20 supply discrepancy, that should be a quick indication that you are ready to fight. Rifles are such clumsy travelers, it's sad to watch. Well, I don't think anything can be as bad as Dragoons were in the original StarCraft and Brood War. That really felt like they were just absolutely not fun to watch, as the, well, Force of Nature is going to go ahead and get taken down right there. Nope, 2 out of 3, and that ain't bad. Alchemists now ready to, well, mosey on out here. Riflemen do in fact have the range piercing upgrade, and are they going to actually spot their, well, hometown enemies here? That is the question. Alchemist down to, well, 163 hit points. All right, here goes the engagement, and all of a sudden, once Moons realizes, wait, you have an army of upgraded mortarmen, I do not want to be anywhere near that. Archmage sitting at level 6. Let's take a look. Yeah, still has level 3 Brilliance Aura. Should be able to finish off multiple buildings here pretty quickly. 55 over 90 supply. 2 more volleys should do it. 1 more volley should do it. And, well, let's take a look. Yes, it does get taken down. Staff of Teleportation back to the center. You're going to be able to catch some of those units. Alchemist teleported pretty much straight on top of himself, unable to break free, forced to use, well, essentially a get out of jail free card in that Scroll of Town portal. Keeper of the Grove still heading back. StarCraft 1 Dragoons. Yeah. Is that NetEase? Yes, it is. Back off to the over here to the top right. This Tree of Life has already been taken out. Dryads now making their way back down. Keeper of the Grove ready to try to finish off this scout tower, and it looks like it will be able to do exactly that again. Scroll of Town portal, however, teleports all of the friendly units back across over here. I believe, yeah, it is. As the, well, Archmage still lying awake, giving chase to that Alchemist. Alchemist sitting at level 5. As the Keeper of the Grove also sits at level 5. Let's take a look. There is one Alchemist here. It does have level 6, has plenty of mana. Could end up doing a great job. Meanwhile, Archmage is ready to finish off this Tree of Life, who is already down to 200 hit points, down to 44. There it goes. It gets taken down. 77 supply compared to 72. Okay, I believe it might actually be mass teleport, upgrade, and then not the highest upgrade. Never mind. I can't even think straight right now. Talking about my Archmage. If you don't get it, it's okay. I can't apparently have a stream of cohesive consciousness right now. That tired. Riflemen now bringing their way back off to the north here. Ents now all getting taken down. Acid bomb across multiple units off to the north here, but the Dryads are pretty much immune. Riflemen trying to focus down a unit or two. Mortar teams are in the back, well, allowing for big unarmored damage. And you can see all of those units, just how quickly they go splat, as a scroll of healing was used in time, but not enough in time for, well, Moon to save one of his units. There goes two more units here. Dryads coming in from behind. Moon catching perhaps his opponent off guard. But there are still a large amount of riflemen who can actually fight back against these sheer numbers. All right, healing spray being used once again. Mortar teams trying to launch down onto this Tree of Life. Tree of Life with 7 armor fighting back here once again. Healing spray across multiple units to keep all of these peasants and also this rifleman alive. Both sides with a whole bunch of healing, but who's actually going to come out on top? 61 supply compared to 38. Though in a commanding lead right now with a 20 supply advantage. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove could try and pick up a Clarity Potion and use that Clarity Potion alongside Tranquility in order to heal up everything back at home. Archmage here, ready to go. Archmage seen at level 7. Thank you, Fire of Flint, for the follow. As you take a look back down to the south, center portion is being mined out. Both sides have one expansion, but it's really going to come down to execution. Moon is significantly behind, down by 26 supply. Archmage looking for an easy target is going to find one, but this is still just buying time for Infi to do exactly what he wants. All right. Well, did I say Infi? I'm sorry. I did not mean Infi. I meant Th000. Rifleman upgraded 2-1 upgrades. Alchemist sitting at level 6, almost level 7. Archmage sitting at level 7 should have mass teleport by now, as Blizzard does not feel like the natural follow-up. There is, well, it looked like there was a teleport, only to see it break away at the last possible minute. Alchemist could get to level 6, and if the Alchemist can get to level 6, that actually changes everything significantly. As you're going to see, this one last unit get taken down. Level 6 now on the Alchemist. Ultimate ability, there's an acid bomb. No, that's a transmute, a straight up transmute, getting a rifleman, as the Alchemist needs to wait some time before that transmute is ready to go. All right, units teleporting back home using transmute in order to get a little bit more gold and shut down an opponent's unit. 64 supply compared to 45. If Moon just had enough time, I'm sure he could just transmute all of the units on the map in order to get the victory, but the cooldown is probably perhaps its greatest downside. All right, unit now making its way back down. Moon trying to make its way over. Meanwhile, Archmage with Rifleman going to be able to finish off this, well, this expansion location. Actually, no, there is no expansion location anymore. It's already been cleared out. The mines are gone. And what is happening here? The Wisp are trying to run every which way to not get spotted, but it's not going to work. All right, higher level now for the Alchemist. Alchemist up to level 7. Going to go ahead and mass teleport. Where is it going to go next? It's going to go ahead and try and chase down. Well, there goes a Keeper of the Grove. Keeper Grove is going to be able to break free. Yes, it will. The Mountain King joins in on the fight, but Stormbolt's a bit too early before it could try and interrupt that Staff of Teleportation. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Moon looking to clear out this expansion here. 14,000 gold remaining. It's going to take some time to clear it out, but the Alchemist really wants to set up in this position here. Dryads is going to be able to potentially get the big creep jack that we were promised, and this might be exactly it. There's a Staff of Teleportation. Archmage sitting at level 7. What's going on there? Oh no, that's another transmute. Multiple transmute, just keeping all of the units alive. Scroll of Healing. Oh, Potion of Invulnerability for a short while after using it. It's going to get focused down. It could get taken down. Does it use a Scroll of Healing? Yes, it does. Down to 30 hit points. It gets taken out. All right, Moon loses his Keeper of the Grove at level 6. And once he lost that, he just threw up the GG. Th000 takes this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, that is it for me today.